A trip on the Metropolitan Railway, circa 1910. The screen turns white as a dusty film strip begins to flicker. In black and white archival footage, people mill about on a train station platform. Throughout the film, most, if not all, subjects appear to be light-skinned, though the grainy, shaky footage makes it hard to be sure. The men wear dark three-piece suits with flat hats made of straw or tall hats made of pressed felt, and the women wear long dresses and wide-brimmed hats adorned with flowers. A man in a bowler confers with a railway worker in a tall collar and flat-topped cap as a three-carriage train leaves the station and enters a tunnel. The light wavers as grainy watermarks, hairs, and imperfections in the archival footage flick by. Our perspective switches to the view from the front of the train. We exit the tunnel and travel under a series of street-level overpasses. To our right, another three-carriage train traveling in the opposite direction zips by on tracks running parallel to ours. We approach an open-ended station with an arched roof and pass a series of posters pasted along the side of the station along the track. Inside, a sign on a pedestrian overpass reads, St. John's Wood Road Station. We enter a dark tunnel, then quickly pass several outdoor platforms separated by more dark tunnels. Two women, one with a man and the other with a small dog on a leash, walk by on the first platform. A sign overhead reads, Marlborough Road Station. Further along, another overhead sign reads, Swiss Cottage Station. As we approach the turn up ahead, a sliver of light grows into an arched tunnel exit. We leave the tunnel and pass through an open-air station which bears a sign reading, Finchley Road Station. Up ahead, we approach an overhead walkway. Many sets of tracks blanket the ground, some intersecting with ours. We approach an empty station with a covered platform on our right. Up ahead, we pass another three-carriage train traveling in the opposite direction on our right. We pass through an open station with a back wall blanketed in posters and advertisements of varying sizes. Up ahead, we pass a two-story brick and timber switch house, then carry on through an open station where passengers stand waiting on platforms to our left and right. Two railway workers in flat-topped caps stand at the end of the platform, watching us pass. Up ahead, we travel under another brick overpass. As we pass by an uncovered platform, a man in a buttoned suit and top hat waves at us. Up ahead, we approach another station. A man on the tracks steps aside as we pass. Up ahead, we approach a station with covered platforms on our left and right. Standing in the shadows, the men wear dark suits and the women wear floor-length, light-colored dresses and coats. Up ahead, we approach a switch in the tracks and veer to the left. At an outdoor station on our right, a worker sweeps the platform with a push broom under a sign that reads, Ruslip Station. The image blurs and quivers as we carry on through the station. Beside the tracks, several people sit on a grassy bank. One of them runs alongside us. Up ahead, we roll over a wooden track-level crossing, then pass under a brick overpass that bears an advertisement reading, By the Daily Mail, largest circulation. The track curves to our right as we carry on past open fields dotted with trees. A motionless figure, perhaps a scarecrow, stands in a garden patch to the right of the tracks. On our right stands a small shack, a wagon bed, and a pile of debris. We carry on under another brick overpass. Up ahead, we approach a bridge supported by 4 brick arches. We carry on past several switches in the tracks under one of the arches. Many sets of tracks cross and merge on both sides of the bridge. On our left, we pass a man in a white shirt and black suspenders standing in the second floor of a switch house. Then we pull into an open station where men, some with straw hats and walking sticks, approach on the platform. Up ahead, we approach another outdoor station. A sign on the platform awning reads, Pinner Station. Our view shifts to the right as we leave the station. Beyond the trees and bushes lining the tracks, a town whips by. Tudor homes and brick row houses, all topped with multiple chimneys, stand near businesses bearing signs such as Swanell and Sly Auctioneers and Valuers, and Sedgwick's Ales, Stout and Porter. Up ahead, our view shifts to the left, where bushes and trees line the tracks. Our view shifts back to the tracks ahead of us as we approach another switch house and small outdoor station. Several people step onto the platforms as we approach. We approach a simple station with wooden platforms and small awnings. A sign on a pedestrian overpass reads, Sandy Lodge Station. Up ahead, the track curves to the left through a narrow channel lined with steep sandy slopes. We pass through the end of the channel, where tall trees cast dark shadows on the tracks. Up ahead, we get a glimpse of tall pine trees to our right before the footage flickers and cuts to black. The image turns white, then archival footage shows the view to our left as we pass a collection of detached houses with long fenced gardens. At the edge of town, people gather on a dirt road and cross an open field. Up ahead, the tracks curve to our left. On our right, a row of utility poles stands between 2 sets of parallel tracks and a thicket of tall bushy trees. Beyond the thicket, the tracks pass through a narrow valley cut into the grassy landscape. We approach a tall brick arch supporting a bridge that spans the valley. We pass under the arch, and the tracks continue curving to our left. Beyond the small valley, fields open up on both sides of the tracks. Up ahead, a third set of tracks runs parallel to ours, then curves off to the right. Orderly stacks of railway ties, thick lengths of treated lumber, sit to the right of our tracks, extending to the distant horizon. Our view shifts to the right as we pass an open field and curving third track. Our view shifts back to the long row of stacked railway ties. Up ahead on our right, we pass several stone houses tucked amongst trees and bushes. Open fields line both sides of the tracks. We pass through an open wooden gate as the tracks curve to the left through a small valley cut into the grassy landscape. Up ahead, we approach another open gate at the far end of the small valley. Our view shifts to the left, where a steep hill leads to open fields. Up ahead, we pass through an open wooden gate. A row of small utility poles runs along the treed embankment on our right. We follow the tracks as they curve to our right and approach an arch supporting a sloping concrete bridge. We pass under the concrete bridge. Up ahead, a town full of white houses sits to the right of the tracks. We pull into an open station. A sign on a pedestrian overpass reads, Great Missenden Station. Up ahead, we roll past fields separated by bushy hedgerows. We approach an overpass and several large, sparse pine trees. On our left, piles of railway ties sit beside the tracks. Up ahead on our right, fields dotted with trees whip by. A small herd of cows graze in a field of tall grass. Our view shifts to the tracks ahead of us as we approach a concrete overpass. Up ahead on our right, a stone house with 2 chimneys and several other buildings stand beside a dirt road. Plots of farmland fill the space between our tracks and the road. Up ahead, we pass between empty platforms. An overhead sign reads, Wendover Station. Fields delineated by hedgerows blanket the land to the right of the tracks. We approach an overpass. Beyond the overpass, freight trains and carriages sit in a rail yard. We pass a 2-story switch house, which stands near a complex web of crossing and merging tracks. We approach a station, but slow to a crawl when a locomotive approaches from the opposite direction, coming towards us. It passes to our right, puffing smoke and pulling 11 carriages. Several men on our left stop and stare as we roll past the platform. An overhead sign on a pedestrian overpass reads, Aylesbury Station. The image flickers and turns gray.